What's going on, guys? We are back with another video. I already know I'm gonna get this one because I've been out for a half a day and I've been absolutely smoking the walleyes. So we're definitely gonna catch some fish. But today what I want to talk about is we got a lot of questions on the last two videos, basically how you find fish in the spring, what we're looking for, and stuff like that. So there's kind of two main things I like to look for. One being water temperatures, generally looking for warm water temperatures, and two, we're obviously looking for fish once we find those spots. I'm not fishing a whole lot of like specific pieces of structure, especially out here in Green Bay. We're fishing huge, vast sand flats that are 99% void of walleyes. But finding the warm water and then finding the fish makes all the difference. So I probably have about a 4-mile little jog I gotta make down the lake here, and we're gonna catch a bunch of fish. I'm gonna be fishing by myself today, so we're probably gonna run the GoPro chest mount for most of the time, but you guys will have some great POV action, some hook sets and all that good stuff. Bait wise, rod wise, we always get asked a ton of questions on that stuff. Bait wise, I'm probably gonna be fishing a lot of this number 6 Rip and Wrap, purple gold, absolute killer out here. I'm gonna be throwing a Kalen's swim bait tickle tail with a Google Eye and 1/4 ounce too, quite a bit. And the rod which I've absolutely fallen in love with for fishing this way is an Elliott Rods 7-1 medium extra fast. It has the perfect amount of tip load. A lot of these fish are biting off the bottom, so I don't want a super stiff rod that rod's just gonna hit them with backbone immediately. I want a little bit of a soft tip that transitions into a lot of backbone. So I can, when I lift up my tip loads, I can tell them I have a fish, and then I can kind of set the hook more. If your rod's too stiff, you're gonna pull that bait. It's gonna be too much of an immediate kind of, you're gonna yank that bait away from the fish and tear the hooks out of the fish right away. So soft tip. If you guys want to check out any of the Elliott rods, I'll go ahead and link them down below. But like I said, we got about a 4-mile run we got to make here. I'm going to shut up because I am dying to fish. It's a fishy looking day. We're pounding fish. Stay tuned. Oh, feels good. Not super big. You can actually see these fish on side imaging real close to me here. I'm gonna go ahead and spot lock. There's quite a few of them here. Kind of cheek hooked this one, that's why it feels so big. It's probably gonna come off right here. Just a little guy. It's that kind of looking at your side imaging. And especially when you're drifting like this, knowing when you're around a lot of fish, where to cast, when to spot lock, that keeps you on them. Hooked up. Jumping walleye. Go ahead and spot lock. We're on a pile of them now. Alright, so when we come out here, we're kind of looking for two things. Obviously, the first one in the spring, especially when we're fishing huge sand flats like this, like we are out here in Green Bay quite a bit, is warm water. Warm water is always a great thing to find in the spring, and that is kind of our structure, right? We're not so much looking for a hump right now, or a big point, or rock, or this or that. This early on, a lot of times, I'm just looking for warm water, and that'll obviously put you on fish or closer to fish right away, right? So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just kind of drive around spots where I've caught them before, and I'll keep the boat on plane, and I'm just kind of watching my temperature gauge on my boat. You know, a lot of times it might be like 35, 95% of the areas, and all of a sudden you might get into a spot that's like 36.5. I'll slow down, and then I'll start looking for those fish, right? So right now we got a water temp that's flickering back and forth between 35.8 and 36. The side imaging is absolutely blank, right? There's no fish marking on here right now. It's just plain sand. So if I keep cruising in shallower here, to where I kind of already know the warmer water is, it won't always necessarily just be shallower. But when you're gonna start seeing this temperature gauge go from 35 up close to 37, the soon as I drive into it. I'm not really sure exactly where it starts and stops here, but I'll just kind of drive into it. Might have to fast forward this part, we'll see. So you can see there's just no fish. Well, there's one fish right there, but not very productive looking, right? So I'm just gonna kind of cruise through here, and I'll kind of show you guys the graph and the temperature gauge, and you'll see once we hit that warm water, we'll start marking a lot of fish on side imaging. Alright, so now the water temp is 36.8, jumping to 37. And I want to show you guys what the side imaging looks like now. That's all white fish, probably right here. These are walleyes right here. Probably a pot of walleyes right here. More fish right there. Big pot of fish. The graph is now loaded, so a lot of times it's just following that temperature around to kind of lead you to the fish and then start side imaging. Hooked up. Pretty decent one. Not a tank. You can actually see them all on side imaging right there. Pretty cool. I absolutely love the way this 7-1 Elliott rods folds up. It is the perfect rod for doing this. And there's a perfect looking Green Bay walleye. Probably about a 25 incher. Just thick female getting ready to do her business. You can see what he bit. Well, you can kind of see it. It's absolutely down the hatch right now, but beautiful, beautiful Green Bay walleye right there, and he is angry. I think we are about to catch one. It's looking rather promising off the left. Any one of these rips should be a fish. It just looks too good to not get one right here. And there he is. Not a big one, but man, without side imaging, you would be absolutely lost. Just a little guy there. But when you get good at reading side imaging, kind of put yourself right in the zone. A lot of times you should be able to call your shots just like that. It's easily the smallest fish I've caught today. Fish on. This one feels good. Oh yeah, it's a nice one. Not a super big one. But a pretty nice one. Look at that thing down there. Go ahead and scoop them off. That's what we're after. Easily, or 26 and a half. Maybe a little bigger. Take them like that. In the back. Beauty. Hooked up. Fish on. Nice fat mama. There we go. That is what it's about right there. And there's the rewards. Nice chunky walleyes. They get a lot bigger than that, but for just an hour of being out, we are smoking them. I'll let them go. Alright, well that is going to wrap it up for this video. It was a productive little over an hour of fishing. I got to run back to land, unfortunately, meet up with some people, and then get on to a whole bunch of walleyes again tomorrow. But thank you guys for watching. If you guys have something you want to see filmed, whether that's something productive, technical, how you do this with side imaging, what kind of baits this or that or whatever, let me know. I hate filming videos that are just kind of like, hey, look at me catch a bunch of fish, because that was just purely entertainment and not really my gig. But let me know down below, drop some comments on what you guys want to see, and yeah, we're gonna be filming a whole bunch of big walleye stuff here in the next few weeks. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you're not yet, please subscribe and stay tuned for more content.